Welcome to the session about threads demonstration. In this example, in this session, we will create a thread using the Runnable interface. So we have a class called thread demo, the main class. So runner is implementing the runnable interface and overriding the run method. So we have a class called runner which implements the runnable interface and overrides the run method. So just as our previous example, extending threads, class runner extend threads. Now we have class runner implements runnable. And we have the same for loop, and we create in the previous example we create a thread like this, and in this example we have thread t1 or thread 1 equals new thread, and we pass the runnable object. So new runner is the class runner, so we pass the runnable object and we start the thread. So just like that, we have another thread 2, and another thread 3. So implementing the runnable interface is the best practice for multi-threading in Java. So it's called the best practice. So usually we use the runnable interface. So the start method needs to be invoked in the main in order to start the thread separately. So if we run this example, you can see we have achieved the same thing. Now you might get a question, we have feeling that we have a way to create threads by you can extend the thread and also you can use the runnable interface. So when do we use a particular one? So usually the best practice is to use the runnable interface, which allows you to extend another class, because we cannot extend two classes. Therefore, if we extend the thread class, we cannot extend another class, which is a limitation. But if you use the runnable interface, if you implement the runnable interface, the class can extend another class. So that limitation is gone. So the best practice is to use the runnable interface. So then you might feel why we need the extend. So the scenario which the extend can be used is, so if we are doing a significant change. So if you are doing a significant change to the thread class, you can extend the thread class. Otherwise, you can use the runnable interface. So that is using the runnable interface is the best practice if you are not doing a significant change to the thread class. So one advantage of using the runnable interface is, if you use the runnable interface, you will get a chance to extend another class. So in object-oriented programming, you cannot extend through two classes. You cannot extend two classes. Therefore, you can use the runnable interface, which allows you to extend another class. So coming back to the point that we discussed, so if we are using the scenario, the situation that we need to use the extend in order to create a thread. So the previous example, this example, here we have class runner extend thread. So we can use we have to use this method, this process, this way, if we are doing a significant change to the thread class by overriding. So if you are not doing that, if it's a normal scenario, it's a best practice is to use the runnable interface. That is the end of the demonstration.